All right, good evening, good evening, good evening. What do we have in the house tonight? Good evening, and welcome to El Talk with Kemi's channel and live session. Good evening. What do we have tonight? Kindly comment and let's meet you. Where are you connected from tonight? Where are you joining in from tonight as well? Good evening. Where are you connected from tonight? Where are you joining in from tonight? Let's get to meet you. Good evening. Hi, Jerry. Every time your name just pops on, just like Jerry, the ever consistent Jerry. Thank you for being here again. Good evening. Good evening. Nice to have you on board tonight. Trust you had an amazing day. Trust your day went well. Hi, Jerry from Delta State. Nice to meet you once again. Trust your day went well. Please kindly post the link on your status so we can get many people to join in tonight. And that's going to be very amazing. It's going to be amazing. I promise that. So let's get many people to join in. We'll be discussing the art and science of sleep because it's very, very important. Most times sleep is a natural biological process that we do not pay attention to because how we say we cannot cheat nature. Just see it as sleep is part of nature, so we cannot cheat it, and we just have to sleep and we have to wake up, right? But there are actually some processes that are involved in sleep, and I believe that when you understand the art and the science of sleep, it's easy and to actually help you to have a healthy sleep or an improved quality of sleep. So that's why I'll be talking about the art and science of sleep tonight. So as you join in, Please comment your name and where you're connected from so that we can introduce you properly tonight. Thank you for being here. Health Talk with Kemi is a global platform to educate both the young and the old about their health and to help them to make informed decisions. You know, sometimes we want to, but we cannot do it if we don't have the knowledge, right? You know how to say we fly or we run with information. So before you can make informed decisions about your health, you are to be aware, you are to be enlightened and educated, and that's what we do over here at Health Talk with Kemi. And I say thank you. If this is your first time joining, welcome to Health Talk with Kemi. If you are an old-time subscriber and old-time live viewer, thank you for being here once again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I don't want to waste so much time, so we can round off quickly tonight. I'll bring up my slide so we can talk about the art and science of sleep. And my name is Omolenyo Oluwakemi. I'm the host for tonight, and I'm also the founder of Health Talk with Kemi. Thank you for being here once again. So let's just go into sleep. Tonight, we'll talk about all right, my network went off, but I think I'm back now. Can you hear me? Can you please signify if you can hear me? Can you please signify if you can hear me? My network went off earlier, but let me know if you can hear me now. Can anyone hear me, please? Before I go on, all right, thank you so much, Jerry. Thank you. Thank you. My network went off. Thank you. Oh, God. All right, so tonight we'll talk about the art and science of sleep. We'll talk about what is the art of sleep, what's the science of sleep, and how to have an effective sleep, and also the biological process that goes behind the scene when we sleep as well. And I'll bring up my slide now so that we can discuss about it properly. All right, so this is the topic for tonight. The art and science of sleep is the topic for tonight. Now, the first thing we need to talk about when we are looking at the art and science of sleep is to explain what is the art and what is the science and what is sleep itself. Because if we're talking about the art and science of sleep, it means we need to educate ourselves about the art of the sleep, the science of sleep, and what sleep is itself. The art and science of sleep is a holistic concept that combines the biological and physiological aspect of sleep with the practical, the behavioral, and environmental practices that promote it. Now, when we talk about the art of sleep, the art of sleep is talking about the physiological aspect of sleep. These are things that we do to initiate sleep. These are things that we as humans do to have an adequate and effective sleep. While the science of sleep is talking about the biological process that goes behind the scene when we are asleep or before we fall asleep. So the art is talking about the physiological process in which your environmental factors can enhance it, your own practical factors, your behavioral factors can enhance the art of sleep. But when it comes to science of sleep, this is a biological process that goes on within the human body, which means directly or indirectly, you do not really have a say. It's just like something that goes on. But for the art, it means that we have an influence on the art of sleep. That's what it means when we talk about the art and the science of sleep. And sleep is a naturally recurring state of mind and body. Like I said before I started the session, I said we say all the time that we cannot cheat nature because we see sleep as a normal thing that happens. You know, once it's night, you fall asleep. Once it's morning, you wake up. You can take a nap in the afternoon. You can sleep in the evening. I mean, sleep just keeps occurring and occurring. But sleep is a natural recurring state of mind and body. And sleep is characterized by altered consciousness. When you're asleep, you know, there is something that we say. Some people are deep sleepers, while some people are light sleepers. It simply means when a person is asleep and they maybe ring a bell next to them, they can hear. Why maybe some people are asleep and you ring a bell next to them, they cannot hear anything. It just happens that way. But sleep is a natural recurring state of mind and body. And sleep is characterized by altered consciousness. When you are asleep, it's like, you know, some people say when you are asleep is like you are dead because you don't know what's going on around you again. Then there's also relatively inhibited sensory activity. That's why there's sometimes that somebody might hear something that you cannot hear when you are asleep. And then you will say, oh, did you hear that there was a this, there was a that? I did not hear that, because there is relatively inhibited sensory activity, which means when you are asleep, your sensory activity is reduced. It's not as alert as when you are awake. Now, when I say when you are asleep, some people think it's a 2 minute sleep. If you are sleeping, or we know if you've slept for just 2 minutes and then there is something going on, then you wake up, you know. But I mean, when you are deeply asleep, you might not really hear because your sensory activity is reduced, is relaxed. And there's also reduced muscle activity when you are asleep. Hi, Esther. Good evening. Nice to have you on board. Thank you. Then there is also reduced muscle activity when you are asleep, which means you find it hard to carry your body. Maybe like, if you are awake, I can shake my hands, I can move my leg, I can move my body. But when you are asleep, you cannot be sleeping and then you're moving your body and dancing. They will suspect you if that happens. So sleep is essential for both the physical and mental health. And that's why we say sleep. Sleep is a free gift. Thank God that we can sleep. Sleep is a free gift. So we say sleep. As long as you feel sleepy, just sleep. So sleep is a naturally recurring state of mind and body. And sleep is characterized by altered consciousness. It means when you are asleep, there is altered consciousness, there is inhibited sensory activity, there is reduced muscle activity as well. Now, what are the key components of sleep? How is it that we fall asleep every night and we wake up every morning? What are the key components of sleep? There is something called the circadian rhythm in the human body. Just like how we have the natural clock. I mean, in your house, in your homes, on your phones, we have the clock that we used to know what the time is. So when it's 10 p.m., we know it's dark. So when it's 10 p.m. and you look outside your home, you see what? It's dark. Only if you are living in a very fancy street where there are street lights there. Or if you are in the abroad, not in the Nigeria, where their weather differs there. So somehow it might still be bright, even at 10 p.m. or 9 p.m. But we in Nigeria, once you check your phone and you see 6 a.m., what does that signify? It means it's morning, it's dawn. From 7 a.m., 8 a.m., everything becomes bright. Everything becomes very bright. When you check your phone and it's 7 p.m., 8 p.m., you feel like, oh, okay, it's already getting dark. And somehow, your body just gets used to, okay, it's getting dark, it's almost time to sleep. It's getting dark, it's almost time to sleep. And then you start to tidy up your activities for the day. Let me have my bed, let me do my work, let me do what I have to do so I will sleep by this time. Because somehow your body knows that it's time to go to bed. So the same way we have the natural clock, which guides our activities, because we know that when it's morning, it's time to work, and when it's night, it's time to sleep. And we are doing this because we have a natural clock that we also look at to tell us the time. So the same way there is a natural clock in the natural world, there's also something that we call the circadian rhythm, which is the body's internal clock. It is the body's 24 hours internal clock. It means as the natural clock that you hang on the wall and the ones on your phone, it means how it's also guiding your activities. Your body also has its own internal 24 hours clock that regulates how the body functions. It regulates your sleep and wake cycle. So it's as if we just call it the sleep and wake cycle. It means your body is also knowing that when is this time, it's time to sleep. When is this time, it's also time to wake up. Now, how is the circadian rhythm? How is it helping your body to regulate the sleep-wake cycle? Because once you sleep, you wake up, right? You sleep, so it's as if you sleep, wake up, and the cycle continues. And that's why if you don't get used to a consistent bedtime routine, you might alter the circadian rhythm. Because it's as if you are used to sleeping by 10 a.m., 10 p.m., then wake up by 6 a.m. Then one day you start to sleep by 1 a.m., then it means you are telling your brain we need to wake up longer. So it might actually affect or alter the circadian rhythm. Yes. So now, how does the body control, or what is the circadian rhythm in total? In the brain, I think I have a diagram. In the brain, a part of the brain is hypothalamus. Now, in the hypothalamus, there is a small region of the brain in the hypothalamus called suprachiasmatic nucleus. CSN for short. I don't want to bore you with so much medical term, but suprachiasmatic nucleus. It is a small region of the brain and is found in the hypothalamus. And this part of the brain is highly responsive to light. Is highly responsive to light. So in the morning, your brain knows it's morning. In the night, your brain knows that it's night, because there is a signal that is sent. And once the body receives the signal, it's as if it's sending something to the brain. Just like when you put your hand on a very hot surface, your brain just said, oh, it's hot, you can't touch it. Only if there is something wrong, and your brain cannot sense that you just place your hands on something hot. That's the only reason why you will not take your hand away, like a reflex action. If I touch something very hot, I'm just like, it's very hot or it's very cold. So the same thing with the body. This SCN, which is a small region of the brain found in the hypothalamus, is very responsive to light. So in the morning, light exposure tells your body to wake up and to be alert, while at night it releases melatonin. It sends a signal which releases melatonin to prepare you for sleep. So that's how the 24 hours body internal that's how the body's internal 24-hour clock works. So it simply means once the day is bright, I'll still go into details how the STN works. So it means once the day is bright, that melatonin should be reduced, because melatonin is a sleep hormone. So it says melatonin be reduced. It's time for this person to wake up and come back to life. Be reduced, be reduced. And then when it's night or evening time, it also sends a signal. Melatonin starts building up, It's time to sleep. It's time to make them feel sleepy. It's time to go to bed. Start building up. So this STN is a tiny paired cluster of nerve cells. Like I said, is located in the hypothalamus, just above where the optic nerves. I have a diagram in the next that I'll show to you, just above where the optic nerve from the eyes cross. Because before your brain would actually sense light or darkness, there has to be the eyes involved as well, because it's the eyes that the retina, the part of the eye is the retina, and is responsible for the light and dark and anything that deals with light. So it also sends a signal. So this SCN receives direct input about light and darkness from the retina in the eyes. So before it can know that it's daybreak, it's night, the retina is also sending signal that it's time to sleep. It's dark, is bright, it's morning time, it's dark time, and that's how your body also does the regularization. Now, okay, I thought the diagram should come next. So the light signal is the primary cue that the SCN uses to synchronize internal clock with the external world. Now, do not forget, I said the circadian rhythm is the body internal 24-hour clock. And the retina is also connected to the SCN, and the SCN is found in the hypothalamus, which is responsible for sending signals because it regulates both light and dark. Once it senses that is light, it starts to tell the body reduce melatonin so that this person can wake up. And when it sees that it is dark, it starts to send signals to the body, build up melatonin so that this person can sleep well, and it's time for this person to sleep as well. And it does this through the retina. So the retina sends signal to the SCN. It sends light and dark, or light and day, or day and night signal to the SCN. Now the SCN receives it and begins to send the signal to different parts of the brain, which is responsible for producing hormones needed for sleeping and for waking up as well. So that's simply how it works. So the SCN synchronizes the internal body clock with the external clock. And based on the light input, the SCN sends signal to other parts of the brain, like I mentioned, including the pineal gland. The pineal gland is also found in the brain, and pineal gland is responsible for producing melatonin, which is a sleep hormone. Like I said, melatonin helps to build up sleep, and just start to tell the body it's time to sleep, it's time to go to bed, because melatonin is a darkness hormone. And you would not see melatonin being produced in the morning. It's mostly being produced at night. So it is a darkness signal that rises in the evening. So at the evening time, from 6 p.m., 7 p.m., your melatonin starts to, it starts to rise up. The hormone is released all through your body. It's just the darkness signal that rises in the evening to make you feel sleepy, and it drops in the morning to make you wake up. So it simply means that night melatonin is high, and when it comes to morning time, cortisol is high and melatonin is reduced. And here is a pictorial image of all that I've been saying. Here is a pictorial image of all that I've been saying. This is the part of the brain, or this is the brain, and the tiny blue part, the blue tiny part labeled SCN, is the suprachiasmatic nucleus, as seen on this slide, in this image, right? In this image. there is a pointer showing SCN. So that blue part is the suprachiasmatic nucleus. It's a small part, and you can see that it's connected to the optic nerve because that is the eyes. So from the optic nerves, the retina in the eyes recognizes light, it recognizes night, it knows when it's day, it knows when there is darkness, it knows when there is light. Now it sends the signal to the SCN. The SCN now takes the signal sent to it. The SCN takes the signal that has been sent to it by the retina in the eyes, and it now sends signal to different parts of the brain. It sends signal to the pineal gland and says, pineal gland, give us melatonin, which is a darkness signal. So melatonin starts to build up in the body, and the hormone is released throughout the body. This helps to build sleep. And when it's also morning time, once the retina senses that, okay, it's almost daybreak, everywhere is already getting bright and light, it sends another signal to the SCN. So the SCN sends another signal and says, pineal gland, reduce melatonin so that cortisol can build up and this person can wake up. Something happened to me this morning. Something very funny. So there are people that come to drop pure water. Like, so they knock on the door and say, do you want to buy pure water? Come out. I knew they were going to come, but I just told myself, okay, if they come, maybe I would not buy. Fortunately for me, some people that stays close to me or around me wanted to buy. So I said, you know what, let me just stand up. So I stood up grumpily because I slept late last night. I stood up grumpily and said, you know what, let me just go and get this water. But I was concerned that will I sleep again? You know, when you wake up, when you know that you are not ready to wake up. And I'm just like, will I be able to sleep again after standing up? So when I got up, I got the pure water, I got back to the room. So I did something. I just thought in my head, I said, oh, my SCN. I said, retina has sent signal to SCN already that it is daybreak. So this SCN is already telling me cortisol has been produced. It's time for me to wake up. But somehow, I still wanted to sleep. So I did something. I closed all the windows. I put up the light. Then I covered my head, like I covered myself with a blanket, like I covered from my face down to my legs. So I'm just like, if the retina senses that everything is dark, it will be easier. What will it do this time? And anyone listening to that will know if you are listening to me. So I just said, if the retina senses that everywhere is dark, because I was under the wrapper. I said, I'm under wrapper. Retina cannot detect light this time. It cannot detect light this time. And then I just covered myself and I said it will send a signal to the SCN that it is dark. So SCN will not tell melatonin to build up again. So I'll be able to sleep. And I slept. Thank God for this class, because I didn't know all these things before as well. But I was also able to sleep because I did that technique of let me also sleep, let me cover myself. So when the retina senses that everywhere is dark, it will bring sleep and I'll be able to sleep. So yes, so the basic process or biological process of sleep is the retina receives light or darkness. So whether it's light or darkness, it sends an image, it sends a signal to the SCN, which is the suprachiasmatic nucleus located in the hypothalamus. And then this sends a signal to other parts of the brain, such as the pineal gland that produces melatonin and tells melatonin to build up in the evening time so that you can sleep, and tells cortisol to build up and melatonin to reduce in the morning time so that you can be awake. That's how it works. I hope that you understand that. I hope you understand that. So that's basically how it works. Now, there's also something called the sleep-wake homeostasis. There is something called the sleep-wake homeostasis. And sorry, just a minute. So there is something called the sleep-wake homeostasis, and this is the sleep pressure system. It means the longer you have been awake, the more a chemical called adenosine builds up in your brain. The longer you have been awake, the more a chemical called adenosine builds up in the brain, which creates a growing need for sleep. Sometimes you find that even after you've gone a long day, you are very tired, and maybe you go back home before night, you might even sleep in the evening. It happens because there is something called sleep pressure system. It simply means the longer you have been awake, the longer you've been active, doing things, then the chemical called adenosine builds up in your brain. Now it creates a growing need for sleep. It tells you need to relax. It tells you need to relax. You need to rest, because now it's telling you that you need to sleep. You need to just relax. Sometimes it might not be like you need to sleep. It can just be a sign of you need to, that times that you have a long day and you just come back home and say you just want to rest. It happens that way. And that is because a chemical called adenosine is built up in your brain. So it's like a pressure. Rest. And that's why there are times that even when you've actively engaged yourself in so many stressful activity for that day, all your body wants to do is relax because of the chemical called adenosine that builds up pressure in your brain and just tells you relax. I mean, this thing is actually very beautiful. Like, it's beautiful to know, to actually know what goes on in your body. So now this pressure that adenosine has built actually helps you to feel drowsy either at the end of the day or at the middle of the day, but not beginning of the day though. But like at the end of the day or middle of the day after you've done stressful activities. So this chemical adenosine actually create a sleep pressure. That's why it's just like I want to just sleep. I can't do anything. No, it happens to me after a very long day. I'm just like, see, if I want to see myself, I will do something else. But I know that my body is saying just rest, and all I want to do is sleep. Now, thanks to adenosine, which helps us to put sleep in place and say you cannot overstretch, just sleep. And you will notice that when you feel like you want to sleep or rest and you don't do that, what comes in next is what? Headache. You just feel very tired, you can't really do many things, and headache setting as well. So whenever adenosine is being built up or has been built up in the brain, I would say listen to your body and sleep. That's one thing I want to say to you. Listen to your body and sleep. So what are the major hormones involved in sleep? The major hormones involved in sleep are melatonin, which signals the onset of sleep. I said melatonin is a sleep hormone. It's a darkness signal. So the moment it becomes dark, it is released in your body to help you to promote sleep and ensures that you sleep. And the other hormone is cortisol, which is also a stress hormone. This cortisol rises up in the morning to help you to get up from bed. So when it's morning time, like when it's already like around 4 a.m., 6 a.m., 5 a.m., what is going on in your body is melatonin is being reduced because retina is already catching signal that it's almost daylight. It's almost daylight. And then melatonin is being reduced and cortisol is being built up, which actually helps you to wake up in the morning and to rise up in the morning as well. I hope that you understand that. Moving on to the types or stages of sleep. Types and stages of sleep. There are different types of stages of sleep. We've got two major particular types of sleep. And this one happens to almost everyone. Have you ever been in a classroom or probably you've been in a bus? I remember I went for a retreat and I was in a bus. You know how Lagos people can be. I was in a bus and I was so tired. Every part of my body, I believe that the adenosine that has built up in my body as a then was too much because I was struggling to keep my eyes open because retreat will not really permit you to sleep. So it's more of you must be awake and have a very short sleep. So the all the pressure was just like sleep. I was in the bus and I set off inside that bus. And when they got to the bus stop, you know how the drivers, the conductors behave. Auntie, you slept off, blah, 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 blah. If you know you want to sleep, you know in that bus. But that day I was like, it's not your fault. It's because I didn't get enough rest. So at that point, the kind of sleep that I slept is not a deep sleep, right? Because I still knew what was going on. I knew when we got to the bus stop, just that I was very tired and sluggish. But there are some sleeps that once you enter it, it's very hard to pull you out of that sleep. We'll talk about that. And that's why I call it types or stages of sleep. You might also be in the classroom, and in that classroom, maybe the lecture is kind of boring, and maybe you had a long day or you didn't get enough night rest. And then you find yourself, drowsy and sleeping off, and you know how those kind of sleep happen now. Your head is just going, coming back up, going, coming back up. Or sometimes you might even be sleeping in the classroom, and then someone taps you and wakes you up, and then you say, "No, I was not asleep." You know how those people hug you. No, I wasn't asleep. Meanwhile, you were asleep, but you were not just aware of it because there are different types and stages of sleep. So this a full sleep cycle takes about 90 to 110 minutes, which moves through different stages with distinct functions. It means different stages of sleep is for about 90 to 110 minutes, which is like roughly 2 hours. So it means you move from one stage of sleep to another stage of sleep within 2 hours. So it means the two major types of sleep are non-REM sleep and REM sleep. And REM, R-E-M, means rapid eye movement. The REM there means rapid eye movement. So it means that you move from stage one to stage two within 2 hours. Stage two to another stage, 2 hours. So that's what it means, that approximately it's like 2 hours for you to move from one sleep cycle to another sleep cycle. So the first type of sleep that we have is non-REM sleep. And I said REM means rapid eye movement sleep. So non-rapid eye movement. From the name, it denotes that your eyes are not moving, because it's called a non-rapid eye movement. It simply means that your eyes are not moving when you are asleep. And this is where the body undergoes physical repair. I'll talk about the benefits of sleep, but sleep is so important because even in the moment of sleep, your body is going through repair. So when you deprive your body of sleep, you're also depriving your body of the growth and repair that your body needs. So during the non-REM sleep, your body undergoes physical repair, and deep sleep in this stage is crucial for tissue repair in the body. It's crucial for muscle growth in the body, because you've also made use of your muscles, tissues throughout the day, your daily activities. You've made use of them. So how they can regrow, how they can be revitalized is when you sleep. So when you sleep, your body goes through the process of growth that it needs to help you to keep on moving. That's why we find ourselves growing because you sleep. So when you rest, your body goes through different growth that it needs to go through. Your body goes through different repair that it needs to go through as well. So your body also goes through the strengthening. It strengthens your immune system while you are asleep in the non-REM sleep. Can you see why you should sleep? I think I've mentioned now that when you are asleep in this phase, your body grows, there is tissue repair, there is muscle growth, then the immune system is being strengthened as well. And this non-REM sleep is the fourth stage of sleep, and it's also the longest part of sleep cycle. You know, I said we have two stages of sleep, which is the non-REM sleep and the REM sleep. So in the non-REM sleep, this is the first and longest part of sleep cycle, which makes up about 75% of total sleep time. So it means out of 100%, this non-REM sleep makes up 75%, and it has three stages. So in the non-REM sleep, what is your body doing? Your body is relaxing. It's crucial for tissue repair in the body. All tissues used during the day, it goes back to the repairing phase. There is muscle growth. It strengthens the immune system while you are asleep during the stage. Now, this stage also has three different stages, which is N1, N2, N3, which simply means non-REM 1, non-REM 2, and non-REM 3. So I don't want to make it look so hard or complicated. But in the non-REM sleep one, what happens is it is called the transition phase. This is when you are about to sleep. You know, when the adenosine has been built up and then you just feel like you want to sleep. Now, this is the most common type of sleep that happens when you are in a bus, when you're in a classroom, when you're in a lecture room, when you just stepped out and just find yourself nodding your head. This is the most common kind of sleep that happens. So in the non-REM sleep one, what is going on is that your body is already in that relaxation phase. You find yourself relaxed, you want to sleep, but you are not deeply asleep. That's why I call it the transition phase. It means you are transiting into the sleep REM, but you have not gotten there yet. It's just like when you're about to enter a place, but you're not there yet, but you're almost there. So it's called the transition phase. And at this point, all the your blood pressure is relaxed. The electrical wave in the brain also reduces. There is low voltage. Your heartbeat also reduces. So it's called transition because your body is now in the relaxation phase. But in the non-REM sleep one, it's easy for you to wake up back. So it's easy for you to move from you are sleeping to you are waking up, because you are not deeply asleep in the non-REM sleep one. You are not deeply asleep. So it simply means, like I gave the perfect example, when you are in the classroom and then someone just catch you sleeping and then just say, "Oh, Kemi, you're sleeping," and then you're like, I'm back to life. That's the non-REM sleep one, which means your body is just transiting into sleep, but you are not fully awake. And that's why some people that argue that they know what is going on when they are asleep, they are not deeply asleep, or they might not be deeply asleep because there are different stages of sleep. Now, for the N2, the non-REM sleep 2 is called the light sleep. So your body has transitioned from the non-REM sleep 1 to the non-REM sleep 2. In the non-REM sleep 2, the same process is going on. It's just that you are a bit more difficult to wake up in the non-REM sleep 2. The electrical wave in the brain is reduced. There's also low voltage in the brain. Your body is relaxing. Your heartbeat is... Do you know why all these things are happening? Do you know why your heartbeat is reduced? Your blood pressure drops. Everything is... Because your body is now in the relaxation phase, which enables your body to grow, to be repaired, to be strengthened. Because you cannot be very active, bam, 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 and then your body wants to repair and grow. So that's why we recommend that the moment you want to sleep, just sleep. So in the non-REM phase is where the body goes through the process of growth or repair. So in the N2 phase, it is a bit harder to wake you up. And some people that actually find themselves sleep talking or sleepwalking. When someone sleep talks in this particular phase, you might still hear what they are saying. They might just mumble words. It might be coherent or incoherent, but sleep talking occurs in this phase as well. And the non-REM sleep 3 is the third phase of the non-REM sleep. This is called the deep sleep. At this point, you are deeply asleep. At the point of the non-REM sleep 3, you are deeply asleep. It's hard to wake you up. And when you eventually get someone to forcefully wake up at this phase of non-REM sleep 3, what can happen is what? They are sleepwalking, because it's hard to wake them up. So at this phase, people begin to sleepwalk. You find yourself sleepwalking, sleep talking, mumbling words that we probably do not even understand. Then you find yourself, grumbling to even stand up from bed, because you've not completed the stages of sleep. You are still in stage 1. Sleep has two stages of phase or types. So you are still in phase 1, and this is why we encourage at least 7 to 9 hours of sleep. I said each state of sleep takes about 2 hours. So when you start with non-REM sleep 1, that's 2 hours. When you go to non-REM sleep 2, that's 4 hours. So it's as if you are taking 2 hours to build each phase of sleep. So by the time you get to the non-REM sleep 3, that might probably be the 5th or 6th hour, and your body has not taken enough rest, because it is recommended that you sleep for at least 7 to 9 hours. And this is why you find it very hard to wake up. But when a person goes through the proper phase of stage 1 of sleep and stage 2 of sleep, you find yourself active. When we say up and active, you are active for the day. You find yourself energized. Your brain is functioning. You are alert. But the moment you do not complete the stages of sleep, you find yourself grumbling. You're just like tired. You're just, when they wake you up, you're just up and there. You can stay in another corner again to sleep, because your body has not fully gone through the process of repair. Your body has not fully gone through the process of growth. And so you find it hard to sleep. So, and I hope that after tonight's session, you will take your 7 to 9 hours of sleep very serious, because your body needs these hours of sleep. It's not just that you're saying it, but your body needs this hour of sleep for you to be revitalized, for you to be strengthened, for you to be strong, and for your body to work properly as well. So in the third phase of this non-REM sleep, you find yourself, you are already in the deep sleep. You might start to snore. When they wake you up, you might sleep talk, you might sleepwalk as well. This happens as well. And you might just find somebody maybe talking. They are like, oh, what are they saying? They are in this phase of sleep as well. So that is for the non-REM sleep. The non-REM sleep, I said, is important for tissue repair, for muscle support, and strengthening the immune system. And it has 3 phases. It has the non-REM sleep 1, non-REM sleep 2, and the non-REM sleep 3. Now, the second phase or stage of sleep is called the REM sleep. I said REM means rapid eye movement. So in this second phase, you are in a deep sleep. You have gone. Now, let me also add something. In the non-REM sleep, sometimes when you have a dream, you might not remember the dream in the non-REM sleep phase. But in the REM sleep, in the REM sleep phase, you find out that you wake up and then your brain is sharp, or you remember the dream you had. I will explain why. Then you just remember that, oh, you had a dream. I said in the non-REM phase, in the non-REM sleep, what is really going on in your body is the major part of your body is going through repair. But in the REM sleep type, what is going on is actually affecting more of your brain. It's affecting more of your emotions. That's why you wake up and you're like, oh, in the dream, I remember that this person climbed this person's person. You have a proper idea of what happened in your dream. So the REM sleep is a fascinating and complex state, often called the paradoxical sleep, because your brain is highly active. Take note, because I want to explain in the way that you understand what I'm saying tonight. In the non-REM sleep, I said that the electrical current or activity in the brain is reduced. There's low voltage as well. I said the heart rate is slower, because your body is going through the relaxation and repairing phase. But in the REM sleep, what is going on in your body is that your brain is highly active. Your brain is active as if you are awake. Your brain is active as if you are awake. Your brain is active as if you are awake. Then the body is largely paralyzed. That's why you find it very hard that when you are sleeping, you know, I said earlier that when you are asleep, you cannot find yourself throwing punch, throwing blow, or catching your body, because major part of your body is paralyzed. It means you cannot even move your body during that phase. Are you getting me tonight? You can't move your body during that phase. In the non-REM sleep, your brain is not active. It's active, but like it's very slow. It's not really taking things in. It's just like in the slow and relaxation phase. But in the REM sleep phase, your brain is largely active. Your brain knows what is going on, is largely active, and the major part of your body is paralyzed. So what are the things that goes on in the REM sleep or in the REM stage of sleep? The first thing that happens is brain activity. Brain waves are fast. Remember, in the non-REM sleep, brain waves are slow. But in the REM sleep, because the REM sleep occurs towards the morning part of your sleep, by the time you enter the REM sleep, it means you've slept for like 8 hours, you've slept for like 7 hours, and which is already heading towards the morning part. So it's heading towards the time that you're going to wake up. So your brain is back to functioning mode. Your brain is back to alert mode. Your brain is back to let's get to work kind of mode. So at this point, the brain waves are fast. Then all the most, like I said, the most memorable dreams that you have, it occurs in this stage. Then the second thing that happens is muscle atonia. The body experiences a temporary temporary paralysis of most of the voluntary muscles that keeps us from reacting to dreams. And that's why I said at this point of REM sleep, a major part of your body that you can actually move is being paralyzed. That's why you cannot, maybe you're fighting a dream, they cannot see you throwing hand like this in real life. The moment they see you throwing hand like this, means that something has happened, because the major part of your body that you can throw, that you can really move and try to scatter, is being paralyzed. Then there's also rapid eye movement. The eyes move quickly and randomly. In the non-REM phase, there is no rapid eye movement. That's why it's called non-rapid eye movement. But in the REM phase, there is rapid eye movement. You find yourself, your eyes, you will not know. Only someone that looks at you will see that. Your eyes will just be moving under the eyelids. It's not like you are fully awake, but all this is because your body is coming back to functioning mode, is coming back to morning mode, because the non-REM sleep is for like 75%, and that's for into the deep night. But the moment you enter REM sleep, it means your body has gone through repair. Now all your body is doing is for the emotional processing, and your body is getting back to work. Like it's time for us to get up, it's time for us to get up and get back to work. Then there's also increased physiological activity. The heart rate is increased. Remember, for non-REM sleep the heart rate is reduced, but for REM sleep the heart rate is increased. Your blood pressure becomes faster, your breathing becomes faster and less regular. Then the REM sleep accounts for about 25% of an adult sleep. And like I said, the REM sleep is important for emotional processing. That's why you remember most things that you probably maybe talked about last night. You wake up with like a very, could I say, I don't want to say fresh brain, but just like your head is just like, okay, you know what's going on. You can remember things that happened last night. It helps for emotional processing, learning, and memory consolidation. It's like you remember, you can think well, because all this has happened during the REM phase. And the REM phase accounts for 25% of sleep. It is the deep part of sleep, but also the part that also begins to tell you that it's almost time to wake up. Now, there's something called the REM disorder. REM disorder is simply when major part of the body that is being paralyzed during sleep, when you begin to move it, we call it a disorder. So it just happens that maybe you try to react to a dream. Maybe they are chasing you in a dream, so you try to react, and you find yourself shaking your body vigorously. It's called a disorder, because in the REM phase, what the body is doing is to paralyze you in the way that you will not be able to move. So that sometimes as well that you might have a dream in the REM phase of sleep. You have a dream and then you just find yourself screaming or shouting. It happens. That's because your body is reacting, and it's part of the REM disorder, because the REM phase is to prevent your body from reacting to whatever dream that you have. It means even if they're chasing you, you should not find yourself wanting to run on the bed because it is just a dream and it's not what is really happening in the real life. But the REM disorder simply means it is a malfunction from the normal disorder that the REM work does. You might find yourself, maybe just shouting from sleep. You might find yourself maybe just screaming from sleep. They are also called REM disorder. So to have a short recap, there are two major phases of stage of sleep. The first is the non-REM phase, and second is the REM phase. The non-REM phase helps in and tissue repair, muscle support, it strengthens the immune system. It's where your body is being built for growth. It releases growth hormones of the body that just does different. So okay, the one that needs to be built is being built up. Now for the REM phase of sleep, what really goes on is it helps in memory, it helps in emotional processing. You find yourself being awake and alert, not like you're awake but you're sluggish and trying to think. I mean, your head is like sharp, you're up and very active. So I think that pretty much explains it. So going into the art of sleep, I said that the science of sleep is the biological processes that actually helps us to sleep. But when it comes to the art of sleep are practices and routines that you can adopt. So when it comes to science of sleep, it's something your body does. You don't have to stay in it. I mean, the body knows that it's time to sleep, it's time to wake up. But when it comes to art of sleep, these are practices and routines that you can adopt personally to create the ideal condition for your body to naturally fall asleep and stay asleep. So it means when it comes to science of sleep, it's the work of the body. When it comes to art of sleep, it's something that you personally need to do as the illman to ensure that you sleep well. And one of the things that people do for an adequate sleep is a sleep environment. Now, sleep environments include creating a space that is conducive to rest. We are different human beings. Some people like to sleep in a very hot condition or hot weather, while some people like to sleep in a cool room. I just want everything to be some people like freezer cold room. Some people like AC cold room. Some people like cold room, and some people just like the room hot. Don't be surprised. Some people like all things as well. There's some people like the room to be dark to actually help them to sleep more, and which I actually agree, because at that point your retina is telling your STN that it is dark already. So it promotes sleep. So I also encourage a very dark room. You sleep easier and better in a very dark room. Some people like a dark room, some people like a light room, some people like a cool room. Then some people like quiet room. Some people like to sleep with music. Some can't sleep with music. If music helps you to relax, some people will put on the music and sleep, while some cannot put on the music and sleep. Then just having a consistent routine of maybe a dark room, a light room actually helps to promote sleep. Now, this is left to you. This is something that you need to do. The second type of the art of sleep is the wind down routine. This is very important. Personally, I think that the federal government should arrest people who do not have a bed before they sleep, because I don't know how you will go through a long day and you would about to, you'll be about to sleep and you will not have your bed and you will think it's normal. So federal government, if any of you is listening to me tonight, begin to arrest them. So the wind down routine is a crucial step to bridge the gap between a busy day and a restful sleep. It's like a 30 to 60-minute period before bed that is dedicated to relaxing activities. It simply means when is maybe 30 minutes or 60 minutes to before your bedtime, before the time you actually sleep, just like dedicate this time to maybe is that point you want to take a warm bath, is that point you want to read a book. Some people say when they read a book, it's easier for them to sleep more. Some people say when they talk, it's easier for them to sleep more. Whatever works for you. But the wind down routine is a very crucial step for you to have a proper and restful night. So dedicate time to it before you sleep. Have your bed. If book reading works for you, read a book. If gisting works for you, but I don't think gisting really works, because gisting still alerts your head that you are still awake. So do what works for you. You can meditate. When you are just on your bed, you're just like trying to reflect and meditate on your day. Then you can do a gentle stretching. You can just stretch your body, because exercise has also been proven to actually help people to sleep better. So you can just do gentle stretching. You can take a warm bath. You can read a book. What works for you, just do it. It's also called the wind down routine. So we just talked about the sleep environment, the wind down routine. Then the next thing is the lifestyle choices. Some people, the time they're about to sleep is when they will carry fufu, repents. When you know you're about to sleep, 30 minutes before sleeping time. It's not when you should eat heavy meals. It's not when you should carry heavy meals and eat it. You will not sleep that way. So nutrition, avoid heavy meals, avoid caffeine. I'll talk about caffeine. Avoid caffeine. Avoid energy drink. I think this applies mostly to students. You want to stay awake during the night, so you just tell yourself, because I want to be awake, I don't want to sleep, I want to read more. Then you just take caffeine, you take energy drink, and just so that your eyes can be opened. Oh, sorry, just a minute, please. so that their eyes can be opened. So, they do different things. They take energy drinks so that their eyes can be opened. Avoid all those things. Close to bedtime, because bedtime is bedtime. Bedtime is time for you to sleep, to relax, so your body can go through the process of growth, repair. Just let your body relax. Then exercise. Regular physical activity can also improve your sleep quality. It can be, don't make it too intense. Just like I said earlier, it can be gentle stretching. It can just be maybe stretching on the bed. It can be yoga exercises just for you to sleep. But it has been proven to improve sleep quality. Stress management. Some people like to write things down before they sleep. I remember that my mom used to catch me writing things, and because I really just like to write out my thoughts, and I think it helps a lot. Just like trying to empty your head before you go to bed. You don't want to go to bed with stress, with anxiety. You don't want to go to bed with a head full of different thoughts and different things. So you can write out. So you can write down. Journaling is very important. Deep breathing exercise, mindfulness is very important to actually help to quiet a racing mind. Maybe you had a very long day. You had different things that happened that day, and all you want to do is relax. You don't want to go to bed with so many things in your head. You can journal and write it down. So by understanding the science of your body, and by understanding the arts of sleep as well, you can create, when you apply both the science of sleep and art of sleep, you can create the perfect condition. You can significantly improve your sleep quality and overall health and well-being just by simply applying the science of sleep and the art of sleep into your daily activities as well. So the art of sleep includes stress management, the lifestyle choices. It also includes sleep environment and the wind down routine. So what are the importance of sleep? Why is it important to sleep? I think even in my earlier discussions, I have maybe explained, but let me just say more on it. Why is it important for you to go to bed? Why is it important for you to sleep? Number one is physical health and repair. Listen, while your body is asleep, the body produces cytokines, which are also proteins, and they target infection and inflammation, which fight illness, because your body gets stronger daily. The more you sleep, the more your body gets stronger. So when you are asleep as well, the proteins called cytokines is being produced in your body, which fight infection, it fights inflammation, and helps you to be healthier and helps you to be strong. Another thing that is very important for you to sleep is cellular repair. The body regenerates. There is repairing of cells and tissues, which are very important for muscle. They are very important for physical activity. So when you are asleep, the body is regenerating, and there is repair of cell and tissues, which is very important as well. Then hormone regulation. Sleep helps to regulate hormones that controls appetite. Sleep helps to regulate stress and growth. And lack of sleep can disrupt this balance. When you don't sleep, you are just stressed. You want to just eat. Some people have eating disorder because they do not rest well. Because sleep also helps you to release hormones, ghrelin and renin, that controls your appetite. But when you don't sleep well, you might find yourself wanting to just continue eating. You take Indomie, take Golden More, Cocoa Pops, everything, but you want to chill. So lack of sleep can disrupt this balance. Then heart health, very important. During deep sleep, your heart rate and blood pressure decreases, which gives the cardiovascular system a chance to rest and recover. I said in the non-REM sleep phase, the heart rate is reduced, blood pressure, so everything is reduced, like your body is just relaxed. So during deep sleep, your heart rate, blood pressure decreases, which gives the cardiovascular system a chance to rest. It has been pumping blood and working throughout the day, but now it's just like resting. It's still working, but it's resting. It's not working as hard as it used to work when you were awake. So at this point, it's resting. So chronic sleep deprivation is linked to increased heart disease. It is linked to hypertension and stroke when you don't get enough rest. So sleep is also important for heart health. Then brain function and mental health. Sleep is also important for brain function and mental health. Sleep is important for cognitive performance. When you sleep very well, it improves your concentration, your problem-solving skills, and creativity. But lack of sleep impairs your judgment. You find out that when you sleep well, you're active. I mean, I personally, if I don't sleep well, I'm very sluggish. When I get to my place of work, I'm just like, can today just end so I can go back home and sleep? Just like all they are saying, I don't want to listen, because all I want to do is just sleep. So sleep, getting enough sleep actually improves your concentration. You are able to go through that day active, bubbly, alive. You know what's going on around you. It also helps in your creativity. A brain that that is not fully rested cannot contribute meaningfully to a creative thing that is going on around you. So sleep also helps in emotional regulation. Sleep helps you to process your emotions. Sleep helps you to manage your mood. And now, when you are sleep deprived, you find yourself irritable. You are just irritable. You are stressed. You are just anxious as well. So, sleep helps to regulate your emotions. Sleep. The memory consolidation. Sleep plays a critical role in consolidating your memories. That's why somebody can walk up to you and say, I want to tell you something, but just sleep on it. It means as you just sleep, just think about it, sleep on it. So sleeping actually helps you to turn short-term memories into long-term memories, because it means whatever you had in your head the former day, once you sleep very well, you wake up, you still remember, you are able to work on it. And there are some projects that should never be taken when you are stressed, but it's when you feel like, I am refreshed, I know what to do, that you should go for them. So sleep actually helps in your brain function and mental health function. Sleep also helps in physical and cellular repair. That's why you should sleep. It's very important that you sleep, because sleep helps in physical health and repair. Sleep helps in cellular repair. Sleep helps to regulate your hormones. Sleep helps your heart. It helps you the heart health as well. Sleep also helps your brain function and mental health. Sleep helps in cognitive performance, emotional regulation, in memory consolidation. So I say that you sleep when you have to sleep. Now, going to the questions that are commonly asked, I want to provide answers to the questions that people have been asking and I've been seeing online as well about sleep. Somebody asked, how many hours of sleep is needed per day? How many hours of sleep? Now, this question varies, right? Some will tell you do 8 hours, but there is a sleep hours recommendation. That's why most times they say sleep for at least 8 hours, but it differs. If you are an adult, 7 to 9 hours of sleep is needed per day. You can do beyond, but not less than that. If it's teenagers, they need up to 8 to 10 hours of sleep. If it's preschool children, they need up to 9 to 11 hours of sleep. So it means the kind of sleep I will sleep is not the kind of sleep that a teenager will sleep. They need more sleep. So it differs, but the recommended hours of sleep is 8 hours. Now, sleep also varies with maybe the age, the sex, the genetics. Maybe me, I like to sleep. Glory to God, I have good genes that promote sleep. Maybe like I like to sleep and then you don't like to sleep. So sleep also deals with the genetics, the age, the sex of the person as well. Now, the second question is it okay to take caffeine? Is it okay to take Nescafe for energy drink to stay awake? It is very bad. This is one thing that most students do in school just because they want to be awake so that you can cover more grounds and read, but it is not advisable. Let me tell you what this caffeine and energy drink does to your brain. I said the sleep pressure that is built up in your brain because the chemical called adenosine is being released. Now, this sleep pressure is ensuring that you rest, that you sleep. When you take caffeine has inhibitors that would inhibit this adenosine from building up in your brain. So as the adenosine is actually building up in the brain, it is preventing you from sleeping, because when adenosine is being built up in your brain normally, what is going on is that your body wants to sleep. So when you take energy drink, caffeine is disrupting the normal sleep process. Yes, it works. It will keep you awake, but it's also affecting your body, because with all the pressure, because there is no how you will take all this caffeine and you feel sleepy, but you find out that you are not able to close your eyes, but you still like feel the sleep pressure. So that still the pressure is still there, but you are not able to sleep. So it's not actually. I don't encourage you. Don't take caffeine when you have to sleep. When you have to walk. Don't take caffeine. Don't take Nescafe. Don't take energy drinks to stay awake. If you know that you have like a very busy day, very busy time, sleep early so you can wake up early. I still recommend an inadequate hour of sleep than not sleeping at all. So sleep early. Then the third question is it bad to take naps? No. Naps were made for us to relax. You might have a very long day. They won't just take short naps, so you can just like rest and feel very recharged and energized again. But when it comes to taking naps, I do not advise that you take naps during the evening time, because it will reduce the sleep pressure. You find yourself more. That's why some people, when they sleep in the afternoon, it's very hard for them to sleep again at night. So you find yourself not being able to sleep again at night because you've slept in the afternoon already. So it's okay to take naps, but let your naps be in the afternoon time, and don't let your naps be longer than 1 hour. You can time yourself so that the sleep pressure is still there, and you can also equally sleep at night. So when you take just 1 hour nap, you find it easier to even sleep at night again, and not just that, oh, I've slept for 5 hours in the afternoon, I cannot sleep again. So it's not bad to take naps. Just time yourself and ensure that it's just 1 hour and it's not beyond that, and it's not tending towards the evening time. That's why our mothers would always say don't sleep in evening, even if they don't have any biological evidence. They'll just tell you it's not good to sleep in the evening. It's not that it's not good, it's just that it reduces the sleep pressure which is needed for you to also sleep at night. The fourth question is, can I catch up on sleep during the weekend? No, you don't catch up on sleep. Once you don't sleep when you're supposed to sleep, that is gone. It means all the repair your body is supposed to do during that time was not done and cannot be done. Now you can actually sleep during the weekend and you will feel very restored. You feel very active, like, oh, I had a long sleep. I had a long sleep during the weekend. While your body might feel restorative, it does not mean that the damage done can be restored. So it simply means that if you were not able to sleep maybe during the week and you not planned that whole weekend I will sleep everything together, it does not work that way. Whatever your body is made to do daily should be done daily. And if it was not done that day, you cannot rush your body to go through the process just during the weekend, because your body has processes that it goes through during the week. It means Monday, your body is being repaired, Tuesday is being repaired. So when you just sleep on Saturday, you cannot expect that your body will do the work that it didn't do from Monday to Friday just on Saturday. So you cannot catch up on sleep during the weekend. You might sleep and you might feel very good, but it does not mean that the damage is done can be restored or can be undone. That's how it works. The fifth question is, why do I find it hard to sleep? You might find it hard to sleep if you've not created a consistent bedtime routine. Like I said, maybe you don't have a warm bed, you don't meditate, you don't do gentle exercises, and maybe you are stressed, you are anxious, you have so many things in your head. You might find it hard to sleep. Imagine someone that has like a million things that wants to be done tomorrow, and you're just thinking, how do I start? How do I go about it? What the first thing I have to do? You might find it hard to sleep because these thoughts can even keep you awake. And that's why I recommended earlier that even when you want to sleep, you can do journaling. You can write things that are on your head so that it can actually ease you and you'll be able to sleep. So you might find it hard to sleep if you are stressed, anxious, you have different things you want to do, or you've not created like a good bedtime routine. The sixth question is, what is a good sleep hygiene? A good sleep hygiene should I say, it is a routine or a list of consistent activities that you do daily to ensure that you sleep. You can start by putting off your phone once it's 9 p.m. That might be your own part of good sleep hygiene. You can put off your phone by 9 p.m. You might say the time that you would eat at night, 7 p.m. Anything above 8 p.m. you will not eat. You might decide that once it's 9 p.m. you take your bath and you sleep. You might decide that once it's 2 p.m. Do you understand? So these are consistent routines or activities that you engage in that you've created for yourself. Now you do them daily, which actually ensures that you sleep well. You might decide that maybe you love to sleep in a very cold room. Maybe you love your room to smell like sugar, like sunflower, whatever works for you is a good sleep hygiene. The seventh question is, does exercise help with sleep? Yes, sleeping and exercising, like I said, not too strenuous. It's not like you want to sleep, then that's when you start doing jumping jacks, or that's when you start doing skipping rope. That one will even increase your heart rate. Jump, skipping rope it will increase your heart rate as well. So I don't mean exercises like that. It can be gentle, it can just be stretching, it can be yoga. I personally recognize yoga because I feel like yoga is a meditation exercise. It actually helps you to just relax. It's actually like a relaxation exercise, so you can actually do more of that, because exercise as well is a mood booster. Try it out. Maybe you're having a very bad day and you just feel like you want to feel better. Do exercise. You can just do exercise and then you find out that you feel better at the end of the day. So exercise have been proven to reduce the stress hormone, which is cortisol. So you can try to do exercise and you just see how good you will feel as well. And the last question is, when should I visit the hospital about my sleep? When you find it very hard to sleep, when you have chronic insomnia. Insomnia is whenever you find it hard to sleep or you have a disrupted bedtime routine. Maybe you sleep for 2 hours, then your eyes is open for the rest of the day. That's a disrupted bedtime routine. Without you doing anything, your eyes is just open. When you find it very hard to sleep, when you find yourself waking up interval between sleep, you just know that there is something wrong about your sleep, and then you can just visit the hospital for further recommendations as well. That's when you should visit the hospital. So I think I've been able to do justice to the commonly asked questions about sleep. And if there are further questions, can it be sent in right now so that I can address them as well? If there are further questions, can it be sent in so that I can address them as well? I think to an extent we've done justice on the topic of the arts and science of sleep, the art and science of sleep. And I personally, I have learned a lot from this topic, and I just know that my sleep is going to like be a whole new level. I'm going to sleep well, going to have a nice night because of what I've learned. And I sincerely hope that it works that way for you as well. If you have any pending question, please send in so that we can respond to it as well. So I can respond to it as well. And in the absence of any question, I believe that you understood all that was said tonight. And I sincerely want to thank everyone. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. And this is your first time joining, don't forget to hit the subscription button below, the red button, so you can be notified whenever I upload a new video or whenever I have an ongoing session or a live session coming up very soon. And you can just get further updates as well from L Talk with Kemi. Thank you for being here always and always. And I hope that you learned something tonight. I'm ready to take my sleep to a whole new level. Now I know why I want to sleep. I know the hormones involved in sleeping. I know the stages of sleep. I can denote when somebody's sleep talking or sleepwalking. I know what's going on. I just know what is happening in the body. And I'm super excited about that. And I really hope that you also learned tonight. Thank you so much, ma'am. And I hope that you also learn tonight as well. So please ensure you sleep when you have to sleep and cultivate it. The art of sleep talks about you walking towards a proper bedtime, a proper bedtime sleep. You might choose to start sleeping by 9 p.m. so you can have at least 7 hours of sleep, because this sleep that you do not have is negatively impacting your body. You are not sharp, because the brain is not fully revitalized for the day. You've used your brain the whole day. Now your brain is resting. But when you don't give your brain enough time to rest, or your body enough time to rest, you find out that you are doing more damage than good to your body. So please work out a sleep schedule that works for you and stick to it, and just keep moving by it as well. Thank you so much for listening to me tonight. I had an amazing time teaching and doing this. Thank you so much. Do not forget the next live session, August 15th. I think that's next week. August 15th. Thank you so much, everyone. Since there is no question, I say thank you once again and have an amazing night rest. Don't forget to sleep. Drop your phone when you need to, rest when you need to, and I will see you again some other time. God bless you. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much for joining tonight. Bye-bye.